Somebody asked me about the name Own America and how we came up with it, and I think it's kind of a fun story. I've been around, okay? So I grew up when Yahoo was the hot technology company, and I didn't grow up. I grew up when IBM was the hot technology company, but I came of age in business in my 20s. It went from IBM to Microsoft. Apple was in there a little bit back then and faded. And then Yahoo. And that was the first major company in the age of the internet. And I'm talking, it was a monster, right? It's kind of a joke now. I hate to say it, but it is kind of a joke now. But back then it was a monster. I mean, my best friend, who was a stockbroker in his 20s, I was in real estate tech back then. He was a stockbroker, so he had some cash. And like when he would want to go like on a ski vacation, he would like, how much is it going to cost me to go like, in style? Okay, $3,000. All right. He would go put 50 grand into Yahoo for like a week, pull it back out again, take his $3,000 and go skiing. Like it was a monster. This was the first time when you heard about the tech stock bubble. Well, that was a wild ride on the way up and the way down. But on the way up, it was nuts. It was like you were literally arbitraging tech companies. Anyway, yeah, so Yahoo was an important, iconic company in my early days. And it always struck me that their brand was so right. Because at that time, InfoSeek, many people never even heard of InfoSeek. InfoSeek was a major search engine. Netscape was a browser. Internet Explorer was a browser. Everybody was going with the technology and the merely descriptive phrases to sort of label themselves and brand themselves. InfoSeek. Well, what do you do when you're seeking info? Not according to Yahoo. And by the way, I say Yahoo. My brothers make fun of me. It's Yahoo. Well, Yahoo sounds very fancy. I moved from New York down to North Carolina, and so it's always been Yahoo to me, and it's Yahoo now. Yahoo is the noise that you make. Reflexive. Like involuntary. It's not a sound you make, it's a noise you make when you like release down a water slide. Right? They said, not what does it do, what are the features? They said, what's the benefit? They said, what's the experience? Like surfing the web was a phrase that came out at that time, and they seized upon surfing rather than the web. And I thought that was brilliant, and it always hung with me. So for us, it's not about Investorama, okay? It's about owning America. Our point of view is very simple, and it's as follows. He or she who dies with the most America wins. You get to own America. That's outrageous. In world history, going back to like people who walked around bent over, in world history, it's the most outrageous thing in the world that you can own this place. And people pay you rent to live in the places that you own. So it's like the perfect asset class. It's the perfect asset class. The fact that it's been treated in a half-hearted way by industry is just industry's fault. I mean, we're taking it all now, those of us in the industry, because everybody else decided to ignore it. So fine, the hell with them. We're going to take it all. In terms of creating all the professional services around this splendid, spectacular asset class. And somebody asked me, well, if you're saying he or she who dies with the most America wins, well, what are you saying? Nobody should ever sell? And my answer was, yeah, nobody should ever sell. I know that my business needs people selling, right? It's the blood in the veins, right? It's a requirement. It's the lifeblood of the business is people buying and selling assets, among other things. So here's the advice, make it real clear. Don't ever sell anything. If you're selling, it's because you're cashing out. Cashing in, you better be in your 70s. Or you're rolling up. Okay? Cash in or roll up. That's what, he or she who dies with the most America wins is very consistent with roll up. Build the biggest portfolio you can. So Own America is our brand because you can. You can own America. And if you can, you should. And it's all about legacy and empire. And it's exciting. So thanks for listening.